Back with another episode of Cosmic Human Design and another episode of our Cosmic I Ching series. And here we are on Hexagram 11, harmony slash peace slash prosperity, most commonly known as peace, I believe. And this is earth over heaven. So the heaven is kind of like the heaven puts itself under the earth and empowers all things to prosper. Is kind of the imagery there. The judgment, the small departs, the great approaches, good fortune, success. Here, the sage shows us that before the great can approach in the form of harmony, peace, and prosperity, the small must first depart. The small, in this case, refers to the primary thoughts and premises devised by the collective ego, which are the ringleaders of all disorder. We are directed, therefore, to identifying and clearing them away. The most primary among them is the idea that humans are the special creatures of creation and the focal point around which the universe revolves. This basic idea has produced the ribbon grass of mistaken beliefs about nature that are responsible for disorder. Ironically, traditional versions of this hexagram have presented these beliefs as ancient truths, whereas they are the foundation stones upon which the collective ego has based its authority to establish and maintain its rule over nature and society. Ideas derived from the human-centered view of the universe and given in the traditional versions of this hexagram are that man's destiny is to represent heaven's will on earth, and that man's job is to bring order to nature. These beliefs are explained in Wilhelm's commentary to the image of this hexagram as follows. Quote, the stream of energy between heaven and earth must be regulated by the ruler of men. It is done by a process of division. Thus, men divide the uniform flow of time into the seasons, according to the succession of natural phenomena, and mark off infinite space by the points of the compass. In this way, nature, in its overwhelming profusion of phenomena, is bounded and controlled. On the other hand, nature must be furthered in her productiveness. This controlling and furthering activity of man in relation to nature is the work on nature that rewards him. Showing how this belief was applied to the control of human society to create peace and harmony, Wilhelm continues. When the good elements of society occupy a central position and are in control, the evil elements come under their influence and change for the better. When the spirit of heaven rules in man, his animal nature also comes under its influence and takes its appropriate place. What is relevant to us today is that although these ideas are typically Confucian, they are embraced by religions and feudal-derived cultures worldwide, which is pretty much our entire planet is still living in feudal times, actually. The idea that a person's animal nature is evil is the primary and justifying foundation upon which the collective ego sets itself up as the designated authority to discipline, fight, and overcome humans' animal nature, and by implication, nature itself. The individual ego mimics this authority when it takes on the roles of the creator, the doer, and the hero. The idea that humans occupy such an exalted position in the order of things separates them from the cosmic unity, which is based on the essential equality of all aspects of the cosmos. The idea that humans are the centerpiece of creation has its origins in the feudal mindset that has dominated the last 3,000 years of human history. This mindset imagines the cosmos as hierarchically ordered in order to justify its own hierarchical ordering of society. In this system, a cosmic overlord is invented to fulfill the purpose of authorizing the dominance of the feudal lord. In the Chinese system, the granting authority, as indicated above, is heaven, and it is also heaven that is seen to grant the various entitlements and rights to the individual, according to his rung on the feudal ladder. And in the West, the old tradition of the divine right of kings is kind of similar. The hierarchical thinking of feudalism is also the source of thinking in terms of opposites, with one of the pair of opposites as superior to the other. Yang is superior to yin, heaven is ruling earth, male is dominating female, and humans are superior to animals, etc. Human nature is likewise divided into higher and lower parts, with one being seen as good, the other as a source of evil, our animal nature. Like ideas justify the human purpose to dominate not only nature, but also other human beings that are regarded as inferior. The idea that evil originates in humans' animal nature contradicts the principle implicit throughout the I Ching that humans are born good, possessing the perfect natural program to live their lives in harmony with the cosmos. The idea that humans are the centerpiece of creation also contradicts the modesty defined in Hexagram 15 as the cosmic virtue that unites humans with the cosmic harmony. It is modesty that draws those helpers that are associated with peace and prosperity. Peace, as all feudal cultures conceive it, is the result of certain qualified humans controlling others. In the cosmic view, peace is the result of the individuals living in harmony with his true and undivided nature, since his true nature is in harmony with the cosmos and nature. Disorder and evil result when part of his nature has been slandered. When a person is in harmony, he invokes the help of the cosmos in all that he does. The traditional view of this hexagram also falsely credits humans with the great achievements of culture. The sage informs us that human creativity is always a partnership with the helper of creativity, which is accessed through the individual's inner truth. This helper is also engaged when a person establishes a feeling relationship with the consciousness of the things with which he is working. Creativity is not, as the human-centered view would have us believe, the result of abilities of the rational mind. All inventions and discoveries come through the intervention of these helpers. For many people, the help can only come after a person has come to his wit's end and has given up. Just then, when he has experienced a moment of humility, the helper comes to guide him to the precise answer he was looking for. All great artists and performers have had this experience. Some have also experienced the loss of this gift when they have forgotten its source or credited it to themselves. The gift of creativity comes easily and repetitively to those people who know and recognize where the gift comes from and who continually credit the source. The cosmic theme of this hexagram, which is expressed in its names, was taken from the interaction of the two primary trigrams, which represent the cosmic consciousness and nature. This interaction is the pairing and interpenetrating of their energies with each other, creating harmony, peace, and prosperity. They pair because they are in a complementary relationship to each other, the cosmic consciousness being represented by the inner or lower trigram, and nature represented by the outer or upper trigram as its complement. A person can receive this hexagram when, because of his human-centered beliefs, he has blocked the helper of creativity. He can free this helper to come to his aid if he'll rid himself of the mistaken beliefs listed above. This effort requires identifying seed phrases in his inner program to see nature, including his own animal nature, as the source of disorder, chaos, and evil. He also needs to rid himself of phrases and their accompanying images that place humans in the center of the universe. Line 1. When ribbon grass is pulled up, the sod comes with it, each according to his kind. Undertakings bring good fortune. When ribbon grass is pulled up is a metaphor for the mistaken ideas and beliefs a person to dispose of in order to return to harmony with the cosmos. It's all about your attitude. It's all about your beliefs. It's all about what you think, what you believe. They are also the ringleaders of disorder mentioned in hexagram 36, darkening of the light, line 3. When a person rids himself of a central mistaken idea, he brings to the surface other ideas that are based on it as a premise, or that are unrelated but have been combined with it to form a justification for further incorrect ideas. It is essential for the person to rid himself of all ideas that form such clusters. Each according to his kind is a reference to the various unrelated ideas. The basic mistaken idea indicated by this line is that humans are at the center of the universe. When this idea is combined with the idea that humans' animal nature is the source of evil, a basis is provided for the further idea that it is the human job to order and control nature, including human nature. Because these phrases slander the cosmic helpers that achieve their tasks through nature, their help is blocked. When confronted with this distorted reality, the false conclusion is drawn that humans must do everything themselves, including correcting the distortions in nature created by humans. The latter phrase puts yet another spell on nature. This line applies to the person who is separated from the cosmos and its help by having accepted the above-mentioned ideas. He is informed that he can be reunited with the cosmic whole if he will rid himself of them. These are the undertakings that bring good fortune. The effect of ridding one's personal program of the ribbon grass is obvious. The statement that the sod comes with it points to the less obvious fact that the power of the collective ego, the sod, over the individual is thereby diminished. Line 2, bearing with the conditioned in gentleness, fording the river with resolution, not neglecting what is distant, not regarding one's companions. Thus one may manage to walk in the middle. This line is counsel to a person who is confronted with people who are difficult, telling him to bear with them patiently because they are unaware of the invisible world, or they have never learned from the sage. Fording the river with resolution is advice for him to hold to their true selves despite their outer behavior. Fording the river in this case represents getting past the difficulty. Not neglecting what is distant reminds him that holding fast to his inner truth will ultimately succeed in correcting the situation. Not regarding his companions is saying, do not concern yourself with what others may think of your actions. Following this path enables him to walk in the middle, meaning to avoid getting caught up in the ego's demands that the situation improve or else. This line can also refer to a person's destiny. Fording the river with resolution states that it's correct for a person to trust his intuition because it gives him a glimpse of the bigger outline, what is distant. It is necessary to move ahead on that basis, although the reasoning ego would want to object. Not regarding one's companions is also counsel to avoid a servile dependence on the sage, as by asking about what we already know from other lessons with the sage, or about something we already intuitively know within. In a situation where a person's dignity and integrity have been injured, the counsel to ford the river with resolution means to get past seeing the situation from the human-centered perspective, which would make him want to take justice into his own hands. Not neglecting what is distant points to the cosmic justice that will take care of the unjust behavior of the other person in the form of the fate he has created. The gentle way to handle the situation is to say the inner no to the unjust behavior and then turn the matter over to the cosmos. Not regarding one's companions can also mean that a person has allowed his sense of seeing to dominate so that the other senses, its companions, in particular his inner senses, cannot give a complete perception or the inner truth of the situation. Another meaning is that a person needs to withdraw from looking at what someone else who disturbs him is doing. In this way, he will be able to regain his center, thereby manage to walk in the middle. The companion can also refer to a person or thing, an authority, money, or success that a person regards as holding the key to his life. When he gives the authority to those things, then indeed they become the determining factors. But when he recognizes that success depends on cosmic help, he puts his future in the correct hands. Line 3, no plane not followed by a slope, no going not followed by a return. Do not complain about this truth, but be firm and correct in this danger. The words of this line describe a depressed view of life. No plane not followed by a slope, and no going not followed by a return refer to the belief that life is a series of ups and downs. This belief is the source of various pessimistic expressions, such as everything on earth is subject to change, meaning subject to loss. Prosperity is followed by decline. This is the eternal law on earth, and evil can indeed be held in check, but not permanently abolished. It always returns, as Wilhelm states in his commentary to this line. Common beliefs such as good experiences, love, healing, etc., never last, prevent our efforts to deprogram hindrances in the love relationship and false thought forms that create illness. The deeper layer of the I Ching contradicts these ideas in Hexagram 32, duration, where it is shown that everything in harmony with the cosmos endures. What people observe as changes, as in watching the passage of the seasons, is really the ongoing transformations that bring things from the realm of non-form into form and from form into non-form. The person who regards the ups and downs as the natural course of his life is really observing the actions of fate. Fate, the down part of the swing, is meant to make him examine his mistaken beliefs about the way the cosmos functions. His mistaken views have affected his will to live, the danger mentioned. This line counsels the person to be firm and correct in this dangerous situation by identifying the mistaken beliefs that see life as ruled by changes and adversities and deprogramming them. Line 4, he flutters down, not boasting of his wealth, together with his neighbor, guileless and sincere. He flutters down, guileless and sincere refers to the helper of creativity that has given a person, his neighbor, the gift of a mind flash. This has happened because the person has been in harmony with his own essence. Not boasting of his wealth states that the helper makes no to-do about the greatness of the insight and its blessing, so as not to make the receiver feel belittled. The mind flash is in the insight that guides a person to more and more realizations. They continue as long as he remains listening to his own deep inner truth and recognizes that it is capable of completing his perspective. When he doubts its validity or attributes it to another source, then the insights stop. The insight also comes in the form of giving the correct names for things, names that accord with their essence. The essence of a thing always has to do with its function in the cosmic whole, based on its unique abilities or qualities. Traditionally, this line has been associated with humans' supposed ordering function in the universe to name and classify things. However, the sage makes us aware that when humans give things names that deprive them of their dignity, They put spells on them which keep them from evolving. This line can also refer to a person who may be boasting of having had an insight. However, the insight contains no inner truth and is only a product of his fantasy. Line 5, the sovereign Eve gives his daughter in marriage. This brings blessing and supreme good fortune. In its cosmic meaning, sovereign refers to the cosmic consciousness of the whole. The daughter can be taken as a metaphor for all its individual aspects that operate together like a shoal of fishes, with each influencing the other and being influenced simultaneously. The marriage refers to the constant interaction of these parts in the realm of feeling, which is felt as harmony and produces blessings and supreme good fortune. In its other meaning, the metaphor refers to the Chinese custom for the daughter to obey the authority of her father without resistance. It was the custom in China for the sovereign's daughter to be given to a lesser feudal lord to create a bond of loyalty between the royal house and the feudal lord. This illustrates the collective ego's idea of creating peace by imposing a moral order that suppresses a person's true nature. It lures the person to conforming to its rules in exchange for rewards in this life or for promised blessings in the hereafter. A person may receive this line when he is tempted to accept the collective ego's promises of rewards if he embraces its belief. He may also be under a spell or a poison arrow consisting of that kind of promise. Line 6, the wall falls back into the moat. Use no army now. Make your commands known within your own town. Perseverance brings humiliation. The situation presented here is that of a fortified town in which the walls have been battered down by fate. The town is a metaphor for a culture in which humans view themselves as the controllers and regulators of a nature that is seen as hostile to humans. The wall falling back into the moat is the effect of the fate created by this idea. Use no army now as counsel for this controlling person, whose protective walls of defense have been destroyed by fate, to cease defending himself, as for example, by blaming his life on fate, or blaming his fate on life. Some dyslexia, I think. His fate, he needs to understand, is the result of his defensive attitude. If he will rid himself of it, he will free helpers to end his fate and bring him into harmony with the cosmos. All right, guys, thank you very much. We'll see you back in the next one.